knows her and Drake were together at one point in time.
Right.
And it seemed like everybody wanted to get their lick back on Drake.
RC's, what Stephen A is saying, if he was in that situation and now he's married, he's not allowing none of that's happening.
Hold on, no.
That's what he said.
If I'm married and my wife is going to join trolling her ex, go back to his ass. Because clearly you don't belong with me. What you worried about him for and you with me?
I gotta get that lick back.
Go ahead, RC.
Stop it.
What?
Stop it, Stephen A.
Salute kings and sisters with sense. Welcome to the Mr.Goodbread reaction channel, where we learn how not to be a fool from some well-paid fools. We watch and study the stars and entertainers so we know how the broke people are gonna behave. And today we got Drake trolling Serena Williams after Serena did her halftime performance with Kendrick Lamar. And for some of you that might not know, Drake and Serena, they had a steamy relationship. In fact, Drake stole Serena from Common Sense, and that's what started the Drake and Common beef. Remember? So at the center of some beef, gonna always be a bald-head female. Understand that. And that happened to be Serena. Now she riding with Kendrick. All right, guys, let's get into this.
Not Serena Williams' dead sister, Yetunde Price getting her dead name dragged for filth on the internet after Serena showed up to the Super Bowl to perform with Kendrick. The last thing anybody expected was for Serena to even show up and perform with Kendrick, but no one still expected Drake and his fans to be this nasty about it by bringing up her dead sister. Yetunde's death was a real traumatic experience for Serena and her family, especially because of the brutal way that she was taken out. Now, Yetunde was unalived by the same gang Kendrick associates himself with, but Serena still had no problem jumping on that stage with him and doing the gang's signature dance. Child, people even said Yetunde would be rolling in her grave if she knew Serena was now associating herself with the people that killed her, just so she can get back at Drake. Okay, so as most of y'all know, Drake's career was officially buried in the ground this past Sunday when Kendrick finally performed Not Like Us at the Super Bowl. The performance was very powerful and had a lot of deep messages behind it. However, the best part was definitely during the performance of Not Like Us. The crowd was the loudest during that song, and even Kendrick clowned Drake for suing Universal Music because of the song. And did y'all catch the part where Kendrick looked directly at the camera with a smile on his face while rapping the line, "Say Drake, I hear you like I'm young. You better not ever go to Cell Block 1.
Black people so dumb. They talking about a message. The only message in this was that the white people, the Jews, will let us fight each other. They will let us fight each other in their stadium. Yeah, because at the end of the day, whether Drake win or whether Kendrick win, they win. Now, I bet you none of y'all caught that message, though. Nobody caught that message. They said if you give them a loaf of bread and some entertainment or a circus or a Super Bowl, and these people will never revolt. These people will think that they did something in actuality. Fools, boy. But let's proceed.
The level of pettiness in this was out of this world, but of course this is Kendrick we're talking about. He didn't stop there. He brought out Serena to crimp walk on Drake's career, and this was definitely one of the highlights of this performance. Now, for those of y'all who don't know, Drake and Serena dated on and off between 2012 and 2015, before Serena married her husband, Alexis Ohanian. Even after she got married, she and Drake were cool until he randomly decided to call her Nan a groupie. Ooh, in this song, Middle of the Ocean, he rapped, "Sidebar, Serena, your husband is a groupie. He claimed we don't got a problem, but no boo, it's like you coming for sushi. We might pop up on him at will like Suzuki." This was a very disrespectful bar because Alexis had never said a word about Drake a day in his life. It's like Drake thought he'd be an easy target to attack, and he decided to drop that bar on him. Now, Alexis responded to the diss with this tweet that said, "The reason reason I stay winning is because I'm relentless about being the absolute best at whatever I do, including being the best groupie for my wife and daughter. Serena didn't respond at the time, but she was obviously not here for this, and that's why she decided to get back at him, but it didn't get the reaction she was thinking it would get, and her dead sister, Yetunde, ended up getting dragged into it. Now, for those of you who don't know the origins of this dance, it was created in the 1970s and was associated with the Crips. They would usually do this after committing violent acts against their enemies as a way to taunt their enemies or celebrate a victory. Some of them also did it to symbolize their affiliation, communicate messages, and sometimes even spell out letters with their foot movements. Over time, the dance evolved beyond gang culture and became a mainstream hip-hop dance move, popularized by artists like Snoop Dogg. Most people do the dance now purely for entertainment without any gang relation, but people still felt it was weird for Serena to be doing all of that just to spite Drake. Okay. Now, back in 2003, Yetunde was in her car chatting with her boyfriend when two Southside Compton Crips pulled up and opened fire on Yetunde's car. Now, apparently, the Crips thought they were under attack by their rival gang and that Yetunde and her man were sent to spy on them. Her boyfriend, who was unaware that Yetunde had already been hit, he drove away from the scene while they were still raining fire on them to her mom's house, and that's when he realized that she had been hit. They then transported her to the hospital, and just minutes after arriving there, she was pronounced dead. One of the Robert Maxfield was convicted of voluntary manslaughter and sentenced to 15 years in prison, but he was later released early in 2018. But even before this, she had done the sea walk in 2012 at Wimbledon, but at the same time, nobody said anything. However, looking back, people feel like it was weird that she was sea walking when her sister was taken out by the people who invented the dance in the first place. Some people even say the reason Serena doesn't even care is because Yetunde was her half-sister, and she probably feels no loyalty towards her.
Yo, I'ma just go on and say it, yo. Serena Williams is the goofiest black woman I ever seen in my life. She is the goofiest black woman we have in the black community. Candace Owens would never. And y'all give Candace Owens a whole lot of flack. And she did the same thing. Serena did the same thing. They both got a white boy as a husband. Candace Owens tell the truth, though. That's why y'all don't like her, but y'all accept Serena Williams because she ratchet. I told you, black culture accept anything dirty and ratchet and hell of a. We can get behind that.
One person said, having Serena Williams crip walking when her own sister was gunned down by a crip is nasty work, but it clearly went over our heads. Another person said, Serena Williams' sister was deleted by Crips, and her bobblehead tail goes and Crips walk on national TV doing this weird-ish just to spite Drake, by the way. But that's not the only thing people dragged her for. People said Serena was still obsessed with Drake because she's a married woman who still felt the need to pull a stunt like this just to get back at her ex. Shannon Sharpe and Stephen A. Smith brought this up during their show, and Stephen dragged Serena for Phil. He said if he was her husband, he would have asked her to go back to Drake because she's clearly thinking about him.
Knows her and Drake were together at one point in time.
Right.
And it seemed like everybody wanted to get their lick back on Drake.
RC's, what Stephen A is saying, if he was in that situation and now he's married, he's not allowing none of that's happening.
Hold on, no.
That's what he said.
If I'm married and my wife is going to join trolling her ex, go back to his ass. Because clearly you don't belong with me. What you worried about him for and you with me?
I gotta get that lick back.
Go ahead,
Stop it. Stop it.
What?
Stop it, Stephen A.
Serena's husband saw this, and of course, he jumped on social media to defend his wife. He said, some of y'all have no idea how criticized Serena was for this same dance at Wimbledon 13 years ago, and it shows. As for Serena, she didn't care about all the backlash and posted a video of herself celebrating her little dance. As usual, people had their own thoughts, like this person who said, Serena Williams might be the biggest moron I've seen so far in 2025. Imagine being married with a kid, but you're crip walking on the Super Bowl stage to diss your ex, while your sister lies dead in the grave because crip gangs her to death. Make it make sense. Another person said Serena Williams' sister was and by a Crip gang member. And 22 years later, she does the Crip walk, dancing during the Super Bowl halftime show. Whatever she got paid, that's how much her soul cost. She also did it at the 2012 Olympics. Ghetto behavior.
Now, for the past couple of months, Drake has been relatively quiet, specifically because obviously he lost the battle, and to top it off, his response was to go and tour in Australia. Now, it turns out the past couple of days, I believe yesterday was the first time he started posting on his Finsta, and if you don't know what a Finsta is, it's a fake Instagram. It's an Instagram that's not his original Instagram, and he just started spamming, posting a ton of stuff, especially because he has an album coming out in 2 days with Party Next Door. So he's building up that publicity for that album, and he's also taking shots at the people who were kind of making fun of him. One of them being Serena Williams. And one of the pictures he posted, out of the many he posted, was a photo with Serena Williams' former agent. He didn't put a caption on it, he didn't say much, but this is the picture. Not only did he post a picture of Serena Williams' agent, but he also shared a photo of Lucien Grange's daughter-in-law, Sophie Richie Grange, to his Finsta. She's also the only person the account follows. This is a clear dig at Lucien Grange, who's the CEO of UMG. I don't feel like I have to explain the drama between UMG and Drake. What it means? I don't know, but she's wearing an OVO long sleeve. Now, another person who had a lot to say was none other than Ebro, and sometimes I like Ebro's comments, other times I'm like, this guy is getting way too old to be doing what he's doing. He's a little bit too passionate sometimes for the wrong reasons. What he said during this clip is kind of out of pocket. I don't even know where to begin, but I'm going to show you guys the clip.
Drake is not that important. The reason Drake's in this is because he is a sickness in the game. It could have been any artist. It's what Drake represents. We've been saying this for months. People love Drake. They love his music. We love his music. He's beloved. He's not willing to go rip his soul from the bottom and do ayahuasca and look himself in the mirror as Kendrick had prescribed to him. On what song was that? Euphoria? No.
Seems like it's about Drake, but continue.
No, but it's about what the game does to someone who's trying to dominate it.
And truthfully, these radio personalities are the problem. They get paid a lot of money to push the narrative and persuade the minds of the listener. People don't think for themselves. They turn that radio on, and whatever them personalities is telling them to believe, that's what they go and believe. That's why over here, we watch and study the stars so we know how the broke folks is going to behave, y'all.
Now, I don't know what the hell ripping your soul out and doing ayahuasca and looking yourself in the mirror as Kendrick prescribed them means. To me, this is just blatant hate. Some people are literally just hating Drake just to hop on the bandwagon, and this is something I feel like Ebro is doing. What do you mean Drake is a sickness? He's been the biggest hip-hop artist, if you can call him a hip-hop artist, for the past 15 years, and all of a sudden we have an issue. Like, I don't know. Stances like this are what kind of makes this beef silly to me. Some people are just hating just to hate, and this is a clear example to me. Ebro just wants to hate to hate. I don't know. Speaking of hating just to hate, a lot of people started making fun of Kendrick Lamar's Super Bowl. They were saying this was by far the worst Super Bowl halftime performance I've seen from any artist. This ish is awful, but since it's Kendrick, people will say it's the greatest halftime show of all time. Drake revived Kendrick Lamar's career, and this is Aiden Ross, by the way. This Kendrick halftime show is the worst I've ever seen, and then they're making fun of Kendrick Lamar's base audience. There's a lot of videos of white kids just kind of singing along to Kendrick Lamar's lyrics. So a huge divide between whether Kendrick Lamar's performance was good or bad started happening online. A lot of people were saying it was terrible. A lot of people were saying it was amazing because of all the symbolism behind it. But something Rock Nation did, which was kind of weird, is they said that they've broken the record again, the most watched Apple Music halftime show ever, with 133.5 million viewers. Now, the reason why people thought this was weird was because last year they said that it was the most watched Apple Music halftime show ever with 202 million viewers. So how is the most viewed halftime show with 130? The numbers aren't adding up. Rock Nation is clearly just, they're pushing an agenda. I don't even feel like there's a reason to be doing this to begin with, but they're doing it. So it doesn't make Rock Nation look that good, especially when their comments are turned off. You can't respond to this. You can't say anything. So it's like, okay, well, your numbers aren't adding up. It says up 3% versus last year. Where are they getting these numbers from? How does this make sense? Now, Skip Bayless during the Super Bowl said, "I am not watching this halftime show out of respect for my brother Lil Wayne, who obviously should be playing in his hometown. This is just so wrong." So a lot of people also started saying that it should have been Lil Wayne to do the performance because he's a New Orleans native, or he's been a more established artist for a very long time. A lot of people believe that Lil Wayne would have done a better job, or he deserved it, or that it's unfair that they're pushing Kendrick Lamar so much, specifically Roc Nation Jay-Z, who's the one who handles the Super Bowl halftime.
Man, it only goes to show. And I know Skip Bayless got some problems of his own he gonna need to handle and focus and pay attention to. But I swear, these Dems have more loyalty and integrity for us than us have for us. That was real big of you. That was real big, yo. He said, I'm boycotting because of my guy Lil Wayne. And we know he be sitting there caping for Lil Wayne on that show.
Now, other people were saying that Lil Wayne would have done a terrible job because he's a junkie. And then this clip just came out yesterday during a live stream that Tyga was having with Lil Wayne, where Lil Wayne is just basically not saying a word, but trying to say words, I suppose.
We ain't racing now. We got red people out there, they got blood, they got green people, but that, what the red people is kind of cooler. What the green folks said is a little warmer. So that's where my shining from. That part of Mars.
So that didn't make any sense whatsoever. Boosie even had his own opinion, saying, "Just imagining how Drake feel after boosting so many artists' career with his features, and those same MFs ain't got ish to say positive about this dude. That's weak AF to me. On God, if I was Drake, nobody could ever get another feature from me." And this is true. A lot of artists got their popularity off Drake features. It's a thing. We just can't argue that. A lot, Kendrick Lamar even said it himself. There's a ton of artists who have said this. So the battle against Drake is crazy. The amount of hate that he's getting is crazy. But now people are starting to back him up a little bit more than they were a couple of months ago, because this has been dragging on for so long that some people are kind of sick and tired of listening to the same thing over and over. But not companies like Duolingo, who had their little bird saying, "Say Drake," and this was a clear hit. They got 542,000 likes. So that in turn got a raise. Drake is clearly more active on social media right now, and he's making it clear with all these different posts. He even went on to like a video of Kai Cenat saying that the NFL added crowd noises to Kendrick Lamar's Super Bowl performance. Now, this has been a huge argument for the past couple of days, because some people are saying that the crowd cheering was actually built into the actual music that was being pumped out of the speakers to make it sound like people were cheering him on. Some were saying it wasn't true. Others were saying it was true, that the crowd was dead. Others were saying that the crowd wasn't dead. Kai Cenat said this.
Okay, oh my God, they add sound effects to the NFL. Oh my God. All right, so right here, there was no sound. I just heard crowd sounds. All my life right here, there was no sounds. They add crowd effects? I did not know that.
I personally wouldn't be surprised if they do add crowd noises to build the ambiance, of course. There's nothing wrong with it, but they're just making it a bigger deal for whatever reason.
And here's where I disagree with my brother Moro. There's absolutely something wrong with that. WWE pipe in crowd response to manipulate the minds to get you to root for somebody they're trying to push over, even if you don't want to root for them. So it's a lot of manipulation in putting in crowd noises. And what is the deal? Now I'm getting suspicious. Why are we going extra hard? It's just starting to look like a smear campaign, and that's not good. That wouldn't be good for Roc Nation, who got a smear campaign going on themselves now. This is spooky. But I guess it's all fair game though, because if Drake had a chance to do it and win with it, he would do it. He would do it too. So you can't knock the person because the rabbit got the gun.
Now, Drake also responded to Joe Budden. He didn't say really much, but he posted him on his Finsta and put a Lil Wayne song over him as he's walking out of a car smoking a cigarette. And Joe Budden responded to Drake posting him, and he said, "Don't shoot back at me now that you ice cold. I'm not doing a back and forth with a corpse. 99 people done jumped on you. You out here smoking hookah in turquoise boots. Don't post me." Which is like, bro, all you do is talk about Drake. And if he responds, you're gonna, like, I don't know. These people are funny to me.
Hey, Drake, don't shoot at me now that you ice cold. I'm not doing a back and forth with a corpse.
Come on, man.
I wanted to do it when you was lit. It was fun. Don't go get shot all through the year and then pop up like Bernie at Weekend at Bernie's wanting to shoot at me now. No, go spin. Spin the f***ing block.
Now, I know this was the biggest beef for 2024, but I hope this shit hurry up and end for 2025 now. I hope we do not drag this beef into 2025. We clearly see the message. They're promoting the hate. they're promoting hate, all while saying we need unity, but then they go and promote hate between two individuals. It's crazy, guys. Don't fall into the foolishness, y'all. Like, share, subscribe. Let's take it to the comment section. Tell me what you think about Serena Williams crip walking at the halftime show. You think that was tasteful? You think she got a lick back? And guys, if it costs you your integrity, then the lick back just not worth it. If the lick back costs you your integrity, it ain't worth it. Let's take it to the comment section. How you feel about it?